Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I am here with Taunia, and we are going to be going through Go for Gold. So actually, let me bring up the honkin' video, you guys. For those of you that didn't see my live earlier today, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I appreciate your grace ahead of time. Let's see. All right. There's the video. We are bueno. Just to give you a heads up as to why we do these videos in the first place, it's because if you're going to spend time or money on anything ever in life, I think that it's wise to do your research, right? And so while you can go ahead and research me and stuff like that, if you want to do that, I think part of the research should be what it's actually doing for people. And these testimonials are real people that are taking the course, right? Or have already implemented it. They're in various stages of implementation of the course, okay? So they are not being guided or coached in any way before we go live. We literally just sit here and kind of like have a little chit chat and then we just go live. We were talking about Nisha before we went live, actually. So yeah, Taunia, how long, again, and I know that we did a video not too long ago, but how long, again, have you been with Young Living?
So I've been with Young Living for about 10 years, and I was mostly a product user until about 2.5, 3 years ago. So yeah, I love the products, and it was like, why not like evolve into the business side of it? So
yeah, amen to that. Amen to that.
Yeah.
It only makes sense. It only makes sense, especially because you sell real estate as well, right?
My sister sells real estate, but I actually am a marketer. No, that's okay.
Oh,
So I do, so I work my full-time, but due to COVID, it's part-time now. I do marketing for a physical therapy practice, and I'm also a Pilates and yoga instructor in the mix too.
There we go. Now I'm coming back to, got it.
Yeah,
we're locked in. I'm locked in again. I promise you. So what would you say that Go for Gold, well, what was business like before you found out about Go for Gold? And when did you find out about Go for Gold?
So I found out about Go for Gold about, I think it's almost been 2 months ago.
Okay.
Maybe a little less than that, actually. It might be a month and a half. So I'm still new to it. Okay. But so before Go for Gold, it was where, just kind of putting information out there, doing the typical stuff where I was, showing the product or doing my box opening. And not that that's all bad, but sometimes I was worried if people would think it was spammy or if it was just too salesy. And that's not how I treat people once they've joined. It's like, we create this environment, but in the same sense, a few years ago, actually, I signed up under my sister, and we're both fitness instructors. And so we started implementing that in, and we were told by some of our upline that, don't include that. You got to kind of narrow in just on this. And I'm like, no, but I'm not just this, I'm all of this. And so we felt lost.
Yeah.
I felt lost. And it was like, when I got into Go for Gold, I'm like, amen. This is like what I've been looking for. Because it embraces everything about you, and it kind of I did the one-on-one session with you too, for narrowing down that signal. And that to me was golden, because it's flourished into like this group where I'm giving everything about me to them, and it's and I'm like, how did I not just kind of evolve into this to begin with? But it's like, when you're told, no, you're like kind of beaten down, if that makes sense. And these are not people that were beating down. It's just, that was the way that they grew. And so they didn't know better. So I'm not dissing that. It's just, this to me, like, all of a sudden the sky opened, and I was like, yes, thank you.
I'm so glad I can be myself fully, right? Oh my gosh. And that's what, and I'm so glad that you mentioned it as well. Like, it's not, whenever people tell us to do the business a certain kind of way and it's not what we want to do and doesn't feel right and stuff like that, It's never, you guys. I don't believe that anybody comes to the table with negative intentions. I just really
No.
don't. I think they just don't know better. And I'm so glad that you addressed that. Like, it's, nobody is trying to, I mean, obviously if you're under them, they're not trying to,
Right.
you know, stifle you, I wouldn't think.
Right.
But they're just, they just don't know better. And so
Yeah.
they were told at some point down the line that that is a detrimental mistake. And so they stayed far away from it instead of getting curious and maybe thinking like, oh, okay, well, let's try this out. And now you may be showing them something different. Which is
Yeah.
nice. Right?
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting about it is, like, even when I would do like yoga workshops, that's where I would get a lot of signups. And so it made it, this like brought it full circle and opened up many other avenues and ways for me to implement it, you
I
know?
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So what was I going to say? What is your favorite thing that you've implemented so far about Go for Gold? Just curious.
I'd say it's kind of twofold. I'd say first and foremost, bat signal. Honing into what, kind of narrowing down something so you have, like, you're not speaking to the masses, but you're narrowing it in a little bit to get people funneling in a real, you know, honest to goodness way.
Yes.
And, you know, but then taking them into the free group initially and building that relationship, the lead group.
Yeah.
And so really, you know, nurturing them there, and then that transition process into, you know, something more to, you know, which helps us grow the business. But it's like they want to do more with you because of what you're already offering. And it just gives that little window of, oh, this is what she's about.
Yes.
You know, and it's not all product. It's literally everything focusing on that signal.
Yes. Like, we can actually just show up in service. It's the thing that, I don't know if anybody watched my video earlier this week sometime about why I fired my business coach, my first business coach. And it was because he told me that I basically couldn't show up in service. He was telling me that I was too altruistic, and that I gave away too much. And basically I was trying to serve too much, and I wasn't going to be successful in business that way. And so that's why I told him that we needed to part ways. He wasn't a bad guy, but it just wasn't my guy. Right. And then, of course, I live a life now in constant, see what I'm talking about, to that guy, like, watch this. But that's, we can build our businesses around that. And the honest to goodness thing, you guys, is whenever you really get that bat signal honed in, not only are you going to expand and grow your Young Living business, but you can expand and grow that entire audience and then support them in new and different ways as well, right? So then bringing into the fold different income streams and things like that, where they all play off of each other. The gears, you know, like, they all kind of work together. So it's not like, you know, different eggs in baskets that are non sequiturs, but they can all start to play together. And you guys, that is where you have hit a complete home run. When you can support in so many ways that one audience, because they don't need for anything else, whenever you can support them in so many ways. And then you're blessing each other. Like, it's just a cool thing. It's cool. What would you say to somebody? Here's the last question. What would you say to somebody that is on the fence about Go for Gold?
I would say you have nothing to lose. I mean, it lets you be yourself, and it's worth investing. It's a small investment for really coming away with a whole lot of ideas on different ways that you can implement it in a real authentic way. And I think that's the thing. It gets to your true self. So what better way to do a business than to be your true self and serve others and also make an income? Because then it's a natural process. And I think this takes the mystery out of things. We all want to run this Young Living business, but if we're all doing it the same exact way, nobody's listening to us, you know, and we're just copying each other's posts. And this is a way to not just post about a product, but post about a process, or, just, there's like,
Yes.
it's golden. It's go for gold for a reason. There's so many different ways to focus in on it. And it's just such a supportive avenue. And I'll tell you, if there's the one thing I did and you tell us not to do, I'm one of those people that I went through everything.
Watched all of them. Yeah.
Yes. And now I'm like, okay, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this, and those are good. So now it's like working back into that. But
Yeah.
I mean, take it piece by piece if you can. I was one of those that I was a horse on the run. So, but it's well worth the investment, and you'll get so much out of it. And you are supportive, and the group as a collective is supportive. So
it's fantastic. It's a fantastic group. Awesome. Well, shoot, you have an awesome weekend. Everybody else have an awesome weekend. And I will see you later. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today.
thank you. Have a great 4th.
You too. Bye-bye.